What's going on, guys? This is Demise here, and today we're going to be talking about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer reveal trailer. One of the things I want to do first is I want to just show you guys the reveal trailer just in case you haven't seen it all before we get into some of the things that I've seen. So I hope you enjoy it.
Going dark.
Recon out! Contact!
Target locked. Rifle 1-1 on approach. Multiple targets sighted. Raining fire.
Pre-order and get early access to the open beta.
Before we jump right into it, I want to ask you guys to please hit that like button and maybe even that subscribe button if you enjoy this video. You have no idea how much that means to a smaller YouTuber like myself, just to kind of keep us going, keep us moving forward, give us that motivation to make that next video, make that next stream, keep delivering content to you guys. There were three main categories of things that we've seen inside of this multiplayer reveal trailer, and those are the weapons and the weapons attachments, the tacticals, the lethals, and the kill streaks. There's a couple of little etceteras that I'm going to throw in there, but these are the main things that I want to cover in this video. So let's talk about the weapons and those weapons attachments. We've seen quite a few new weapons inside of this trailer. However, I'm not going to cover all of those inside of this video. There's a ton more footage coming, but I do want to start off by talking about the fact that on the weapons you can see in multiple times in this video that you can have dual sights. You can have a close range and a long range sight that will allow you for those longer range and closer range engagements. Also, it's not really an attachment, and at one point in this video he pulls out the heartbeat sensor. If you guys played MW2, you remember this thing. It was great for hardcore, it was great for finding out where people were if they had ghosts or were able to hide off the radar, and you can use that inside of the dark mode and as well as inside of the normal multiplayer playlist. One of the things that I was kind of sad to see is the noob tube is back. The underbarrel attachment for the grenade launcher is in the game. However, we don't know if there's any other underbarrel attachments such as a shotgun that we might see at full launch. One of the things I was surprisingly excited for was the fact that mounted machine guns now have a red dot sight. This is something that we haven't seen in any of the other Call of Duties, and I'm kind of surprised. Another weapon that I am super excited to see return to this game is the Javelin. If you guys remember the Javelin from Modern Warfare 3, that thing was so much fun. A lot of times it didn't get many kills, but it was great for shooting down kill streaks, and in this game, when we have tanks and helicopters and juggernauts, it's going to be amazing to use such a weapon in order to be able to take out those kill streaks. And for you snipers and quickscopers, I will say the snipers look very strong in this game. There's one that I know is a one-shot, you can see that in the trailer as well. And a couple others that, of course, we were super fond of and from Modern Warfare 2 is the Deagle, which is coming back, the D50, as well as the Magnum. Moving on to the next topic, I'd like to cover the tacticals and lethals that we've seen from this reveal trailer. One of those is the throwing knife. In the beginning of the trailer, when they're on the dark map, there's a section of it when he actually throws the throwing knife and is able to kill the guy instantly. So we know it's a one-shot, and we know that it's in the game. Another thing that we see is breaching charges. I couldn't tell from the trailer if this is actual breaching charge or if this is like C4 going off. However, we can see them blow open a door and then rush that door. At another point in the trailer, we can see the character throw thermite grenade at someone, and it actually like sticks onto him, and they're running with the thermite burning onto him. This is not something we've seen before. Normally we just take tick damage, but you can't actually tell if that person is on fire. Thermite's very bright, so even in these dark maps, it's going to light up the battlefield. And last but not least, trip mines. If you guys remember the proximity mines or the trip mines from Ghost, they were super strong and super annoying, and they even got nerfed throughout the year. I hope this is not the case in this game. We'll have to see how they perform in the beta. I'll be taking a very close look at these to see how strong they are. In the trailer, we didn't get a full list of kill streaks, however, we did get to see a few in action. One of those is the light armored vehicle. This is a tank. Does anybody remember the World at War days when you could get into the tank and actually drive around the map with your teammates? I get the feeling that if you get this kill streak, it's going to be kind of similar. And if you can't afford a full tank, there's a Wheelson. The Wheelson we've seen inside of this trailer when they're going through the dark map. When he pulls out the heartbeat sensor, that little vehicle that's following him around is Wheelson. This has a grenade launcher and a machine gun on it, and I feel like it's going to do a lot of work on these smaller, more close quarters maps. One of the kill streaks we did see in the trailer that I wasn't really that fond of was there was a drone that they let go that they could survey the battlefield. This kind of puts the player at a disadvantage. You're going to be stuck in one spot being able to survey the battlefield so you can give your teammates information. However, they don't even have a mini-map, so how are they going to even see these characters? So I'm really curious to see how this plays out. I hope it either gets buffed or maybe even it's automated. That would be really neat to see and to check out in the beta. One of the other kill streaks that a lot of people are super excited about is the Juggernaut. They've done a couple things with the Juggernaut and they take a ton of damage. If you remember from Ghost, the Juggernauts only took like one rocket to the head and they're done. Maybe two total. However, from what I've heard, these Juggernauts take several rockets to the head, to the body, doesn't matter, they keep on moving. Also, another thing that they've done with the Juggernauts is they're playing metal music through their headphones. You can actually see this in the trailer when it cuts to actually the first-person view of the Juggernaut when he's taking out the helicopter. You can hear the Metallica song in his headphones. Another thing that I'm kind of iffy on is when you call in like an airstrike, a Harrier strike, a Warthog, you actually have to laze the location that you want this airstrike to go. This is very unadvantageous if you're inside a building and you know people are rushing you and you actually want to laze that building. So instead of just being able to pull up your little mini-map or pull up your computer and call it an airstrike and kind of give a direction, you don't get to do that anymore. You actually have to pull out the laze the location, and hope you don't get shot doing so. And last but certainly not least,
Tactical nuke incoming!
Tactical nuke incoming. The tactical nuke is back. At the very end of the trailer you can see it, however we don't have any information on how you are supposed to earn this nuke. My last topic for this video is some of the etc., some of the things we've seen in the video that we didn't really fit into the categories that I have so far. One of those is takedowns and assassinations. At one point you can actually see somebody, I think the guy's prone, just like camping there on the ground. He walks up to him, picks him up, stabs him in the neck. We've also seen this in the 2v2 gameplay that was released, Gunfight. Another thing we kind of seen a glimpse of is ATVs. This is mainly for those large maps, the 10v10, 20v20 maps when you need to be able to get across the battlefield quickly. However, the battlefield is huge, so it's like Ghost maps, but with 20 characters, or 20 players instead. And you can actually get on these ATVs with your teammates to get across the battlefield quickly. Another little nuance that they've added to this game is how you actually get onto the map. Instead of having your teammates all spawn in on one half of the map and they're popping up and the textures are loading and it's taking forever, now you either fly or ride in with style. One team will be loading in on a helicopter and be flying into the map, and one team will be taking a truck. We see this in a couple parts of the trailer. And the last thing I want to cover in this video is dark modes. This seems to be a big emphasis that Call of Duty is making this year. These modes are supposed to be more tactical, more realistic, and very visceral. Some of the key things that are going to make this different than your regular multiplayer is one, well, it's very dark. You have to use your night vision goggles. If you take off your night vision goggles, you can't see anything except the occasional little light. And in one of the maps that they're showing, there's actually the lights. You can see them turn it off in the trailer. That makes that entire cave system from pretty lit, right? I mean, like your house you can see until it is pitch black, can't see anything. One of the coolest things I think about this is you can actually see your own laser beams and your teammates and the enemies. So the IR beams are very similar to how they would be in reality. If you have night vision goggles and you can see that green IR beam for your teammates, well, you can also see the enemies. So you have to be careful when you're aiming down sights and where you're pointing your weapon so you're not giving away your position and you're not going to get just shot. Another thing about this that's going to take some getting used to is there's not going to be any hit markers. You fire on somebody, you can't really tell when they're dead. You're not going to be getting that hit marker or the fact that you even hit them. You're just going to hope that when you're done shooting, they're no longer shooting back. Well guys, that pretty much wraps up everything that I can see, at least from a high level, on this multiplayer reveal trailer. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. And this has been Demise. We'll see you guys next time.